Everyone, it's me, Shaw360, and what you're seeing here is my 2015 in K-pop. These are all of the releases that came out in 2015 that I bought this year, and there is a lot. Everything that I bought here, I had one reason or another to buy it, whether I ended up loving or hating it after the year was over. And there are a couple of pieces that aren't here anymore because I gave them to other people. But yeah, this was my K-pop 2015, and now I'm going to tell you about my favorites out of the bunch. Okay, so now that you've seen all that I had to work with, it's time for me to show you the albums that I chose to answer the questions for the tag with. And I'm only using albums that I own, so if the albums didn't arrive in time or if I don't own the albums, I couldn't use them to answer the questions because I wanted to keep it as narrow a field as possible because goodness knows there was so much to choose from this year. But favorite K-pop album of 2015, I have 3 answers for that, all for different reasons. The first one being BTS's In the Mood for Love Part 1. I did order both versions of In the Mood for Love Part 2. However, I made a mistake in the company that I chose to order it from, K-Town for You, and my package is lost. Even though it has tracking, it is lost. It's been lost since December the 4th, and I haven't heard back from K-Town for You about any information they've gotten from the post office, but it's just not here. And along with it is lost my FX's Four Walls album. So I couldn't use that to answer this question. But I don't mind because Part 1 actually is a better fit for the reason why this is one of my favorite K-pop albums of 2015. Because I feel like this was the album that launched BTS into the stratosphere. As good as Dark and Wild was, as popular as War on Hormone was, I feel like this was the album that made BTS a household K-pop name. Like, I really do. I think I Need You broke down the walls, and I think Dope sealed the deal. I think the only drawback on this album, which is why it wasn't an absolute number 1 for me, is the fact that I think that the pacing of the album was messed up by the order of the songs. But other than that, this is a great album, and Part 2 is even better, but I couldn't use it as an answer because I don't have it. But Part 2... so fucking good. So fucking good. So yeah, this is one of my answers for favorite K-pop album of the year. Another answer for that is this album right here, Love Me Right by EXO. To me, it just shows how good an album can be when you throw all your money at it. Because, I mean, let's just be real here. SM throws all their money at EXO. All their money. And it shows because the production and the songwriting on this album is top shelf. El Dorado is a great song. Exodus is a great song. Love Me Right is a great song. Call Me Baby is a great song. The Answer is the ballad of the year for me. I just love that song. So yes, this is a great album. I don't feel like it is consistent as the album I'm about to show you. Like, I think there's a lot of like highs and lows in this album. I think it could have been kind of, the track list could have been a little bit smoother, but still, for all the promotion that EXO gets, at the end of the day, they're promoting great albums. They really are. And so I'm tired of people being like, well, it's EXO. You know, just hating to hate. Listen to the music. Once you listen to the music, then you can hate. But the point is, like, once you listen to music, you can't hate because the music is great. So yeah, definitely this album. And then my last choice for favorite K-pop album of 2015, this album right here. This album is great to me because this album basically says, fuck you to every person who thought that the Wonder Girls could not come back. There were so many people who dismissed the Wonder Girls. Not said hateful things, but more were like, yeah, whatever. We'll see a Wonder Girls album when pigs fly. Well, I hope that your farm animals are harnessed to the ground because Wonder Girls came back and they did it in such an amazing way. I think what I respect the most about this album is that they didn't come back with the thought, we're going to be the same K-pop idol pop girls that we were before. They didn't come out there trying to do the latest dance moves. They didn't give y'all the nay-nay. Thank goodness. They came back with something totally original, something totally different, and something that really shows you that at the heart of the Wonder Girls, it wasn't about image. It was about actual musicianship. They are actual legitimate musicians. And while studio musicians were the ones that really did the instrumentation for the album itself. There's a lot of art to the way these girls approach their vocals. And this album is so cohesive. Every song that was picked for this album belongs on this album. It is a great listen from start to finish. The photo book goes along with the songs perfectly. I really, really like this album a lot. And so I had to put it as part of my favorites because, I mean, between the three that I just talked about right now, I couldn't choose. I could not choose. They all deserve top honors. They really, really do. All right, now to an easier question to answer. Favorite photo book concept? This album right here. It had to be Closer by Oh My Girl. It had to be Closer by Oh My Girl because from front to back, cover to cover, this is the best concept I have seen in a long time. First of all, it goes perfectly with the video. So it feels like somebody reached into the video and pulled out this packaging. Number two, it's a storybook. And you know that before you even open it because of the faded kind of look of the edges of the album. The kind of faded picture that you have, vintage look. The fact that when you feel it in your hand, it actually feels a little bit rough, like it's been handled over the generations. And then when you open it up, it's like the beginning of one of those like Disney movies, like the beginning of Snow White where the storybook opens up and you're like, once upon a time. Like it has that feel to it. The pictures are gorgeous. I mean, look at them. They're beautiful and they're atmospheric and they speak to the tone of the album. The members look great. The way that they did the font was really good. The fact that it actually does have a story to go along with it. Just everything they did with this album was top notch and it deserves Photo Book Concept of the Year. I don't think that there's another one that can touch it for 2015. I love it a lot. And I'm really glad to see Oh My Girl succeeding because I liked Cupid. A lot of people were not here for Cupid, but I liked Cupid and I said so in the video where I unboxed it. And I just feel like Oh My Girl proved to people that they are not a one-trick pony. They can do a different thing with their sound and still maintain the integrity of their group concept. So kudos to you, Oh My Girl. Number 3, favorite solo album of 2015. You should not be surprised. It is this album right here. And I'll be honest with you, like, if I hadn't chosen this for solo of the year, it would have been my favorite K-pop album of 2015. The reason why I felt like it was more suited for a solo album of 2015 is because I almost don't feel like this is a K-pop album, to tell you the truth. Like, this feels like a neo-soul album in Korean. It is just wonderfully written, beautifully sang. It's got such a nice theme to it. It speaks of love, romance, heartbreak, everything having to do with relationships of the romantic sort. And I'm here for it. It even talks about sexy times. Like, everything is being approached here. And I think Jonghyun shows you in this solo why he is the main vocal of SHINee, why he and Onu are main vocals, but also he shows you a different side to what he can do in SHINee, because while he has had solos on SHINee albums before, and he is, you know, a very distinctive voice in a SHINee song, he does have to kind of temper himself in order to match with the rest of the group. When you're going from one person's set of lines to the next person's set of lines, you can't have an extremely big jump. You know, it's got to kind of go together in order for the song to flow. And this time it's just all him. So he didn't have to hold himself back at all. If he felt like giving you those vocal acrobatics, doing an entire song in falsetto, he could do that here. He could do that here. There were no restraints on him because this was his project. And it was beautiful and it was gorgeous. And I loved it. And I thank him for doing this. I think this is something that people should get into if they haven't already listened to it. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it was definitely mine. Favorite subunit album of 2015. This is the only subunit album that I own. It's this album right here. It is Infinite H's Fly Again. I really like the fact that brand new music approached Infinite H like they are rappers rather than idols. Because I think with Amoeba Culture, while they did a good job with Fly High, I think they still approached it as them kind of doing a project for some idol rappers. Whereas I think that brand new music said, you know what? We are going to take you as rappers seriously, and because we're doing that, we're going to produce a hip-hop album for you. And I think that this album is just better than Fly High. I think that the songs are a bit more aggressive. I think that they caused the actual members of Infinite H to step it up and go a little bit harder, and I like it. I like it a lot. I'll be interested to see who the next company is that Infinite H works with, like if they decide maybe to let OMG produce their next subunit project. Either way it goes though, this was my favorite subunit of 2015. But shouts out to Bastars. I didn't buy that album because I did not like the lead single, but I've heard really great things about it, so there you go. Next, number 5, favorite packaging of 2015. I feel terrible about this because it wasn't until I started kind of like getting my choices together that I realized that this CD is not in here, it's in my car. But that shouldn't take away from the packaging. It's this right here, Junsu's Flower. This was my favorite packaging of the year because it was a different kind of packaging that I'm used to seeing, but at the same time, it's extremely well made. To start with, the packaging for this album is a lot like the packaging for 2PM's number 5 in that it's kind of got like a flappy box. But what they did with this album that makes it to where it works and 2PM's doesn't, they put a magnet closure inside of it so I can turn this thing upside down and shake it and nothing's coming loose, nothing's coming out because it's got a magnet closure. Then it's got this beautiful print work on the outside, which is so pretty along with the gold foiling. Then when you open it up, it's got a spacer inside of here to keep the photo book from rattling around inside the packaging. That's so freaking smart. That is really smart. And then this is where the CD sits. As you can see, my CD is not here, but they've got the track list right here for you to see it. So you don't have to worry about like flipping it over to the back to see the track list. Is right up front. And then if you wanted to display it, it's got a built-in kickstand. Come on now. This is great packaging. So yes, this was my packaging of the year because it was packed wonderfully. And I think probably if I was redoing my list and I was doing top 5 albums of 2015, this would easily be 4 or 5 because this was a gorgeous album to boot. Like musically, very, very well done. So shouts out to you, Junsu. You did it. You did it, and I am here for it. Now, number 6, least favorite packaging of 2015. Again, a 3-way tie. You guys know that on my channel, packaging is everything to me. I talk about packaging more than I talk about the music sometimes even. And there were some real stunners for like terrible packaging this year. First one being one that I ranted and ranted about, so you should have already known I was going to talk about it here. The Maid series. This is the E from the Maid series. I bought this probably right after YG said they were going to postpone the release of the full album. When they said that, I'm like, okay, now it's safe to buy one. So I did buy E, but I have sold my black M and A. I haven't sold my white one yet because it was a sham. It was a fraud. It was super cheap, and I think that YG could have done better, but I'm not going to go into that whole rant again because I've already done that here on the channel. Another one that was least favorite packaging this year because I've already told you about it, and it was just a bad idea. This one right here, 2PM's 5th album, 5. It's not that JYP is trying to be cheap. Quite the opposite. I'm sure this cost a lot of money to mold, form, and produce. It's just that it's impractical and it's shoddy built. And that's the reason why this is poor packaging. It just wasn't thought out well. And as you guys know, this is the way the packaging looks when you get it, but I actually have a different cover. I have the cover that Tina Davidson made for me, and it is gorgeous and beautiful and a million times better than what JYP came up with. And remember I was telling you about how with the Junsu album, you don't have to worry about your shit falling apart when you tip it over. Not the same with this one. It's no security at all. You turn it upside down, everything falls out. So yeah. Definitely needs to be noted as one of the worst packagings of this year. But the one that I volunteer as being kind of like the perfect combination of what's wrong with 2PM's album and what's wrong with YG's album is this right here, 17 Carats by 17. This was one of those things where Pledis tried to do something different while trying to do something cheap, and what they came up with was some bullshit. I bought this album brand brand new, and before I had taken the plastic off the album, it was already damaged. It was bent around here. It was bent over here, these two places. It was kind of creased a little bit, but then right here on this edge, this was already bent like this in the plastic before I had ever opened anything. All these bends were here. After I got it open, which was a trial in and of itself, and I was able to unwind the album to try to look at the CD, at least listen to it. I went to go put the insides back. I couldn't close this damn album. I could not close this. I got it folded back. It's in there. I can't get these flaps to close. So mine is like eternally and permanently open. It is stunning how bad this packaging is. And I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. But yes, this was just like the perfect storm of cheap and unique. So shouts out to Pledis. You guys got an award this year. All right. 7. Favorite Japanese and or any other language besides Korean album single released by a K-pop idol or group. So I don't buy a lot of Japanese stuff. The only Japanese I buy is SHINee. I recently decided to start buying some BTS Japanese stuff, and I bought EXO's Japanese stuff this year. So the winner kind of by default is EXO, because what SM did with the release of EXO's Japanese single was beautiful. Like, it was the best packaging I've seen on a Japanese record in a long time. Like, I can't even think of SHINee packaging for Japanese albums is this good. They did the group version. Even when you touch it, it feels like luxury. Then they did the member versions, which I did the unboxing for the Lay one, and I also have the Dio one, but there's a lot of unboxings on the internet, so that's why I didn't unbox this one. And then I went back to fromjapan.co.jp, and I got this, which is a member version of Love Me Right that was released strictly for their Japanese fan club. And I got Lay's member version. I also have a group version of the fan club only release coming, and it should be here in 2016. When it comes, I'll show it to you. But I mean, even though this looks super cheap, it's beautiful on the inside. I have an unboxing of it on the channel, and I just think that SM, like I said before, they really throw their money at EXO, and what you get for the money is really nice. I cannot say the same thing for FX's Japanese single. That was some bullshit, and I wouldn't give you any money for it because it looks crazy. And also, I have to say, I was kind of disappointed with the packaging for Sing For You. It's a digipack, and I didn't know we were still doing those in 2015, if you're not an independent record, but I digress. All right, next question, number 8, an album that surprised you this year. 2 albums surprised me this year for different reasons. I'll put them out at the same time. I don't mind. It's these 2 albums here. These albums surprised me because these are not only albums that I was surprised that I liked, but one of them was an album I was surprised I even own. So the one I was surprised that I liked was Red Velvet's The Red. I thought Dum Dum was super catchy. I didn't know if I would like the rest of the album as much because I kind of was on the fence when it came to Ice Cream Cake, but I really loved the album. I thought it was super good, and I thought that they did a great job of separating the kind of weird sound that Red Velvet has from the kind of weird sound that FX does and is their signature sound. Because, I mean, that was part of the whole thing with Red Velvet when they came out. The timing was kind of bad because it was the same time that they had canceled, like, the promotions for Red Light for FX. And then also, you kind of got this quirky vibe from Red Velvet, which was very much the quirky vibe you got from FX. And you kind of felt like, are you replacing FX? No, I think that Red Velvet is a different group for a different generation, honestly. You can see where FX's music is very much maturing when you hear Four Walls, whereas Red Velvet has a very youthful, fun sound to their stuff, and I appreciate that, and that's why I feel like it's different, and I'm glad to hear that it's different, because it kind of helps me like them more. And then the other one I was talking about, FX's, woo girl, 4 Minutes Crazy. I have never wanted to buy a 4-minute album ever. I've appreciated their music. I liked Volume Up a lot, the single, but I just have never wanted to own one of their albums, ever. And then Cold Rain came out, and I remember thinking, that song is really good. And then Crazy came out, and I got hooked on that song. And I just thought to myself, you know, both of these songs are on the same album. Why don't we just go ahead and get the album and see what's happening? I'm so glad I did. The album is really, really great. And I think it's good that FX took their signature sound and kind of updated it, made it something different. And they did something that I'm always saying that K-pop groups should do. Release a product that's made for your existing fans, but also is made to kind of promote and receive new fans. So rather than getting stuck in their sound, they updated their sound, which made everybody like it. And I can't wait to see what else they come up with, because this was a really good album. And also, the packaging shows up really beautifully on camera, by the way. I just want to mention that while we're talking about things. All right, next question. An album released this year that could have been better. I'm sorry, Miss A. I love you. I really do. I have a couple of Miss A albums. I need to get a couple more. I really, really like Miss A. But, you know, the truth of the matter is, Colors was disappointing to me. The song Only You was not one of my favorite lead singles, but I've usually been able to find like a few songs on a Miss A album that I like. For instance, the album Touch. I like the song Touch. I love the song Lips, and it was a B-side for that album. This album, not so much. And I mean, it was disappointing from the track list to the packaging. And I have a whole video about why the packaging on this is flawed as fuck. But yeah, I was very disappointed with Miss A with this. I expected a lot more, and I mean, I don't know where this group is headed from here on out. Suzy is extremely popular. Min is popular with international fans. And Faye, you know, she's been getting her shine lately. But I just really don't know about the future of this group. And this album did nothing to settle my worries when it comes to Miss A. So, yeah, could have been better. Next, number 10, favorite rookie album of the year, or favorite rookies of the year, boy and girl. For girl, I think you should already know because I mentioned this in another video. It is GFriend. I really like GFriend. I don't know why, because I don't do cute. I don't buy other cutie group albums. I don't really listen to cute songs because they all remind me of like CFs and drama entry songs. But for some reason, GFriend gets to my heart, and I love them. I feel like I want to adopt them all and make them cupcakes. They're just beautiful girls with a gorgeous sound, great choreography, lots of spunk, but not like aggressive, abrasive spunk, and I just dig them. And I can't wait to see who they grow up to be, because I feel like we're going to look at them the same way. And I hate to bring this comparison because it's tired, but I think we're going to look at them the same way we look at SNSD. We're going to look back at this time as they're kind of like genie time, and then years later when we're looking at their You Think period and kind of getting a little bit awkward about it, I think that it's going to be a trajectory. I think they have a lot of room for growth, and they've got the raw talent there to grow into something wonderful, because they already are something pretty damn special already. The other rookie of the year, because I had to do a boy rookie, this one right here. I don't know why I haven't unboxed this on my channel yet, but I actually got a signed copy from M-Wave, and oh my gosh, guys, M-Wave made a mistake. They sent me a copy that was signed by all the members. I was only supposed to get like one signed by one member because they didn't choose my tile, but somehow or another I got this one. I know, it's amazing, right? Anywhoots, Monsta X was not a group I was into when the first mini came out. That's why I don't have it here right now. But when this mini album came out, I said, you know what? I am going to give them a chance, because I hated the video for Trespass. I thought it was just nonsense. There was so much going on. It was so weird and busy and confusing. The video for Rush, though, was a bit better. And then I was watching some different unboxing videos from other people, and they were playing the song Amen from this album in the background, and I was thinking, that song is really beautiful. So I went ahead and I got this album, listened to it, liked it a lot. Then the video for Hero came out after I got this album. I was like, what? And now I really like Monsta X, and I went back and I listened to the album for Trespass, because now kind of, you know, that initial turnoff that I had was gone, and Trespass is a great album as well. So for me, even though I like 17 okay, and I thought Icon did a decent job this year. I don't even want to say good job. I'm going to say decent job. For me, it was Monsta X. It really was. It was Monsta X. And then the last kind of bonus question, number 11, was album recommendations. I'm going to recommend to you all albums I've already recommended to you before, but again, please give these albums a shot. Please, for me, give these albums a shot. First one being this one. It's Hyunsung's My. This was an album that was released in the summer that should have been released in the winter because it is a winter album. From My First Time all the way down the track list. It's perfect for this time of the year. Hyunsung is extremely talented, and his solo really brings home the fact that Beast is filled with talented members. But his voice is so interesting when it's by itself, because whenever it's kind of with the other voices for Beast, it sounds a little nasally, a little whiny. But when he's singing by himself, it actually works. I don't know why, but it works, and it's very sexy. There's some music on here that is like rated R type stuff, but still, check it out. You'll like it a lot. The other album that I know a lot of you are not going to give a chance just because it's not your cup of tea, but it is for me. BoA's album, Kiss My Lips. People liked Who Are You, but did not like Kiss My Lips. For what reason, I don't know, because I love that song. But there's more to this album than those two singles. There is the song Home. There's some other songs on here which I can't remember the names of because I am not good with remembering album title, track things, stuff, speaking problems. But I really love this album. I love this album a lot. I want you guys to listen to it a second time. Get past the first two tracks and listen to more of the album. I think you'll be surprised, and I think you'll have something new to listen to the next time you are bored and needing to have music to study to. And then the last one is one that I don't think any of you are going to get, but I wish you would. It is this right here, Bonnie's Love. I stan this woman. Oh my gosh. I stan her down. You don't even know. Like, every video she releases, every release she has, I bought all the physical copies I can buy. I love this woman, and she does not get any attention because she is on the smallest of the small labels. Like, just, it is the very definition of a boutique label. But her music is so good. If you like 90s R&B, if you like neo soul, Erykah Badu, Maxwell, D'Angelo, SWV, this is for you. And it is great, and she is a phenomenal talent, and I kind of want her and Jonghyun to get married and have babies because they will be the best singers K-pop has ever seen. But yes, please check out Bonnie's Love album. It is fantastic. The video for Push alone is a reason to check out this album. But that is the end of my 2015 K-pop favorites tag. Thank you for watching. This has been an extremely long video, so I appreciate you sticking around for this. I have a link in the description box to my playlist for my 2015 favorite songs. It's a video that's on my Shawwell 360 Chats channel, so check it out, please. And since this is the last video of the year for me, I want to make sure that I shout out some very important people. The first person I want to shout out is Angels2014. We talk a lot off camera, like a lot. And I treasure that friendship immensely. Other people that I talk to off camera quite frequently, Alex Coleman, you are a star. Don't ever let anything diminish that fact. It's the truth. Randomme2011, girl, you give me so much grief, but I care so much for you. Like, really, you're feisty. That's the word, feisty, but I get it and I like it a lot. Top Min Kwan, you have been a friend of mine here on YouTube since the start, and I treasure your friendship immensely. Same thing with Shawwell 5. You have been my cheerleader when I didn't think anybody even cared about my channel. And to go from last year having less than 100 subscribers at the end of the year to going to this year ending it on 1,000, it started with you. So you are very important to me. There are some other people on the channel that constantly comment all the time, and I can't remember all your names, but a few of them I do remember. If I don't mention you by name, I'm sorry. It's not because I don't like you, it's because I can't remember. Euphoria Prism, Tom, Shawa0525, Dunya Elmas, Katie Blue 1979, of course, Girl You, M Girl Personal. I've made friendships with everybody who did the Secret Santa event for me. And then for the ones that I missed, that I didn't say by name, but for every single person who's ever left a comment on a video, ever done a like, ever used my link with catchupcd.net to buy an album so that I could get a discount so I could buy more albums to show on this channel. For every single person who watched my video, who saw a thumbnail and clicked it, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you won't believe me, but I can't imagine this year the way it has been without your support. Like, when things at home and in real life got really real, I use this channel as my support system, and it has meant everything to me to be able to have this outlet and make these connections with you. And I say it all the time, and I know you don't believe me, but I totally mean it. This is for us. This is for us. Like, this is as much for you as it is for me. And I thank you so much. And one thing I got away from this year that I really hate, at the end of all of my videos in 2014, I used to make it a point of saying something encouraging at the end of all my videos. And I kind of got out of it this year because I had a lot of anger. And I think a lot of the anger I had this year is related to things going on with me personally. But I really want to get back into that for 2016. So I want to end this video with some encouragement for you all. And this encouragement has nothing to do with religion or anything else. This is just some like real life encouragement. There is a reason why you see the world through your eyes. There's a reason why you hear the world through your ears. And there's a reason why you feel the emotions you feel. Because you were supposed to be here. You are no accident. You are no mistake. You are supposed to be here. You are supposed to have your experiences. You are supposed to live your life. And anytime you feel like you don't matter, or no one cares, or the world would be better off without you, cut that out, because you are you for a reason. And while some of us have yet to find out what that reason is, some of us are actively working in our purposes, and then others of us, maybe we've missed an opportunity, but there's another one coming around the corner. You're meant to be here. You're meant to exist. You're meant to be in this life the way you are in this life, whether it's a lesson for yourself or a lesson for others, or if you're just going to change the world as we know it. But you're meant to see out of your eyes. You're crafted from a material that's been around for ages, and it's special, and it's magical, and it's never been explained why people exist. Like, we really don't know. But it's for a reason, and you are a reason. So keep on pursuing life. Keep on pursuing joy. Keep on believing that you matter, because you do. Not just to me, not just for likes or for views, but because you are crafted out of something eternally special. Never forget that. Thank you all for watching. Happy 2015, and hopefully a happy 2016. Bye.